All right, I'm here with Coach Stephen Davis and a big, thrilling victory over Page. I mean, this game went over 3 hours. It was 21-17 final. Coach Davis, I mean, just what were your biggest takeaways on that one?
Gutting it out and getting the win. You know what I'm saying? You know, those guys got it deep down in territory late and they made a big drive going down the field. And our guys, you know, we was bending, but we didn't break. So just a nice gut check for the team.
I know that final drive, you alluded to it just now, bending but not breaking, a 4th and 15 stop to pretty much seal the deal. I mean, I know you had a timeout in there. What was the message to your boys? What were you telling them kind of late in the game there?
Well, just don't let nobody get behind you. Make sure everything's in front of you. Come up and try to knock the ball down or make a tackle outside of the goal line.
In terms of that 4th and 15 play, I mean, what was the play call there? What was the design for your defense? And what were you expecting in terms of what Page was going to give you in terms of a look there?
Well, you know, we thought they was going to try to go to number one. That's their guy. And we just made sure we had two guys on him, one underneath, one over the top. And we just figured if we can get a little pressure on him, and eventually he's going to throw it. And we wanted him to run it because we dropped 8, rushed 3, then just rally to the ball and make the tackle if he had did that. But he threw it and hit the goalpost, and that's it.
A big turning point in this game. You have the ball close to midfield. The unfortunate injury break that we had, I mean, about 20 minutes of time, and then you go down the field and score that big touchdown. I mean, what was the message to your guys at that point? What were you trying to get your guys to do to, get on the board like that?
Well, we just told we got to take advantage of this field position. You know, we was right at midfield, if I'm not mistaken, first down. Let's try to take advantage of it. And then, just coming off, we got a little rest because of the injury. And I pray that young man's doing good, but got a little break right there, and the guys came out and looked kind of fresh. And I think it helped us out on that drive.
I mean, some big holes provided by that offensive line. Michael Boone, taking it deep, and then Jeffries, just finishing off with the touchdown there. What were the good things you saw from your offensive line, Boone and company?
Well, exactly what you said. They had some holes for them. And we thought we could do that, once we was prepping this week. We looked at some things we thought we can get done, and those guys came and they really, really opened up some holes, and he had no choice but to get good yards.
I know to start this season, unfortunate losses, but now you have a 3-game winning streak here. How would you describe the feeling in the locker room, kind of the tilt of this team right now?
Well, it's high. It's really high because, people don't, outside looking in, everybody, Dudley's down. We return 1 starter on defense, 2 on offense. So those guys who are moving up to play varsity, those guys who are back up, it's going to take them some time to gel. And, truth be told, we played 2 really, really good teams, Cardinal Gibbon and Southeast Raleigh, at the beginning. So those guys, I think, are going to go deep in 7A playoffs. So, those 2 teams, they got us ready for games like this.
You talked about getting ready for a game like this. I mean, what were the things you felt like your team learned early on that has paid off and, this big battle-tested win here?
I think the biggest thing, they realized that when we don't turn the ball over, we're pretty good. So we worked on eliminating the turnovers. Even though we had some tonight, it was pretty much one person. But if we realize if we don't turn it over, we can rock with the best of them.
I know Carmack, I mean, he had the touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and the interception on defense. So I think, really a rising star. I mean, he's got offers from, just about everybody you can think of. For someone that sees him on a day in and day out basis, how would you describe the kind of kid he is and, what he means to your program?
Well, he's a work in progress. He's got a lot of ability, but he hadn't reached the top yet. He's just scratching the surface. If he continued to work and progress throughout the season, the sky could be the limit.
I know word was out there that you had been running the wishbone some. Today, really the shotgun. What kind of went through in terms of the decision to, run the spread today and, not run the wishbone?
Well, we was doing pretty good. We feel like we was hitting them pretty good with the yardage. If we could pick up the blitz, we was hitting them pretty good. So that last drive we had, we was gonna run it, but we decided just to go with another formation. And I mean, we hit them real hard. So I said, let's just stay with it, because we had, after that injury, we had got the wishbone together. But I said, nah, let's go this formation right here, and it worked out.
Was there something in particular that convinced you to not do the wishbone on that last drive?
No, not really. Just, I guess, a gut feeling.
Just years of doing this. I know you've been doing this for a little while.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, I know just you talked about work in progress, the development of this team. I mean, how would you describe kind of the off season and how this team has developed, since then, and where you're at right now?
Well, off season, if you talk about the weight room, it was great. But if you talk about guys who are moving up from JV, guys who hadn't really played varsity, learning the plays was a progress. And we are starting to get that now. Week after week, even though we had some losses, we always saw good things. Of course, we had bad things, especially the turnovers. Even in our losses, we don't turn it over. Those games, I'm not gonna say we win, but they'll be completely different. So learning not to turn the ball over and progressing and learning the plays, and let's just keep climbing.
I know a big conference game here, 2-0 in conference now. I mean, undefeated in conference. I mean, what's the mindset? I mean, do you feel like this gives you an upper hand, or is it just a week-by-week thing? What's kind of the attitude?
It's definitely a week-by-week thing, because, any given Friday, you can get beat if you're not prepared. So, and I think that the kids are gaining confidence because, again, we played a really, really good team tonight. I give Paige all the credit, but our guys stepped up, and we came out with the victory.
A big rivalry against Smith. I mean, what are the thoughts? What do you think will be the biggest key factors to success against Smith next week?
I got to watch them and study them a little bit, and we'll decide from there. But I can tell you this: we can't turn it over. If we could just keep the ball in our hands, we'll give ourselves a chance.
All right, that was Coach Davis following his victory over Page. Congrats on the win, Coach.
Thanks a lot.